So when you're in a relationship or a situationship with someone who is showing up as avoidant, you feel powerless because you're so disappointed with so much of their behaviour, and yet you also see their potential, and there seemingly feels like there's nothing that you can do to get them to see your point of view, to get them to understand your needs, your feelings. And so the relationship feels really unfulfilling, and yet you stay, probably because there's a self-worth wound there, and because you believe on some level that in order to be loved, you have to do something. You have to do, which is what a lot of people who are anxious find themselves in, that pattern of trying to prove, trying to do, trying to over-explain, long texts of explanations of what you meant when they have misunderstood you over and over and over again. And all of that is an attempt at saving the relationship and making it better. And really the feeling underneath that is real disappointment and fear of losing this person. And often that comes from a fear of abandonment. You know, one of my coaches said to me, you know what, I was abandoned when I was young, and yet I'm still here. And I thought, good point. You know what? I can handle being abandoned now that I'm older. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal compared to what our younger self might have felt when they were helpless, powerless, and couldn't do anything, couldn't protect themselves, couldn't make a life for themselves. And now that fear of abandonment is a nervous system memory that actually we're okay. In reality, we're okay now. So even if this person is to walk away, to leave, to be with someone else or whatever, the fact is that we'll be okay. But that doesn't stop your nervous system feeling like, oh my God, this can't happen. I need to hold on to this. And when we're in these relationships with someone who's avoidant, we hold on like really tightly, like you're holding onto the steering wheel really tight. And this makes you a little bit more likely to become controlling, right? So that this is why avoidance will then kind of throw it back in your face and say, you're being controlling, don't tell me what to do, I'm going to do what I want anyway, and all this kind of stuff. And anyway, before you know it, your moral compass about what's right and wrong, good and bad, your own values has just disappeared because you're so determined to save the relationship that you put up with stuff that you wouldn't normally put up with. So let me know in the comments below if you've had this experience. It's really confusing. So one of the things that's going to help you to take your power back, get your control back in this situation, and you might not like it when you first hear it, but the way that you get your control back is to let the relationship die. Okay? Let it die. And the reason why you have to let it by stopping doing all of these things is for a number of reasons. Number one, you're never going to get the dynamic that you want when you're doing. You're always going to be too much in that kind of practical, analytical mindset that stops you from being able to play, to being able to love, to being able to be yourself, right? So whenever you're trying to do too much, you're never going to feel the way that you want to feel in the relationship. So that has to die, okay? And then the other thing is that this person is never going to be able to step up if you keep on trying to fill the gap. So where they're, avoiding, distancing, and you're filling the gap, they can't fill that gap because you're always doing it for them. So that has to die too in order for a dynamic to change. And then the other thing is that let's say that all of your work that you've been doing is the thing that's been holding your relationship together. If you stop doing that, then the relationship is going to die. It's going to fall on it flat on its face. And that's really good information because it shows you where this person was at this point in their life. But it also gives them a consequence, okay? It gives them an actual real life consequence to their own actions. And like I've mentioned in previous videos, all that effort, all that emotion, all of that love that you've been pouring into this person and into the relationship, even if it's energetically from afar, that's like background noise, energetic kind of background noise. And when it stops, there is dead silence. And there's nothing more powerful than silence, okay? And I'm not saying this to make you feel like you've got to manipulate someone, because that actually doesn't help you either. It's not authentic. But the authentic, real, true reason to motivate you to take your power back in this way by, literally sitting back, observe the way this person shows up, right? Observe how you feel in their presence, or even the thought of them. Observe the anxiety that's coming up, right? When you do this, you are reclaiming yourself. And in the process of giving in this relationship, you've lost yourself. We do. We become so hyper-focused on fixing the relationship that all of our energy for everything else that we've loved goes out the window. And you won't ever be happy if you keep doing that, because you're always going to be outsourcing your sense of self, your sense of safety, your sense of self-worth to another person. The more you're trying to hold on to just let go of the steering wheel and just think, right, I'm going to let this die. And the other reason why you've got to let it die, and this was very comforting to me when I was going through this, is that the relationship didn't work. Did it? It wasn't working. So that's got to die. That version of the relationship has to die. And I'm not saying that it can't be created, but really the only way that it can be created is if this dies first, so that you start again from a whole new energy, a whole new place, energetically, emotionally. You free yourself from the doing, from the trying, from the people pleasing, from the trying to fix everything, from the over empathetic caregiver in you that wants this person to feel safe enough with you, but that's their job. And what about you? What about your safety? What about your well-being? What about someone caring about you that much? And really, when that silence happens, that's the opportunity where this space is felt and the distance is felt, and this person can reflect. And they're going to get a shock, because you've always been there. You've always been so open, so loving, so giving. And so for you to stop, okay, something's different. Something's changed. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And it really stops people in their tracks whenever someone who has always been so kind, so loving, so passionately determined to work on the relationship, even, again, like I say, energetically, when that stops, everything changes. And, like I say, that relationship wasn't working. If you're really honest with yourself, you don't even want that. And the thing is, sometimes we're holding on really tightly, thinking, well, if I let go, then I'm going to lose this thing forever. What if they come back and I've let go? Then I don't get what I want. But the thing is, you haven't got it anyway. You're holding on to an idea. You're holding on to something you don't want. So it's safe for you to let go, knowing that the only things that can come in after this point are things that you do want. And letting go gives you the space to really be able to focus on yourself. And you might be thinking, I want to let go, but I don't know how to let go. That's probably because you're not ready to do it. But if you listen to this video a few times even, and you start to sort of get the point that this person, the way they're showing up, you don't want them anyway. You haven't got that version of them that you do want, the one that's interested in healing, the one that's interested in those conversations. So you're holding on to the idea of their potential, waiting, hoping that your love will heal everything. And love isn't enough. It's one of the best pieces of advice. Love isn't enough, right? We need more than that in relationships for it to work. So let the relationship die. You're going to look back at this and think, oh my God, I'm free. And that energy that you emanate, I don't know if that's the right word, will be felt everywhere. So I hope you found this video inspiring, useful, empowering. Take your power back. This is your time now, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. You've been amazing, loving, caring, and this person is going to feel the loss of that. So if you would like any help in releasing and letting go, in processing the emotions that feel stuck, then I have got some one-to-one support packages and one-to-one sessions that you can buy. At the moment, there are 3 bonus packages left this month, which means that those 3 people who buy those packages will get an extra session for free. So if you buy 4 sessions, you get 5. If you buy 8, you get 9. If you buy 12, you get 13. So there's 3 of those left, like I say. Send me an email or a direct message if you'd like any more information, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.